Okay, so the first thing when you start to use Final Cut, you just need to be familiar with where everything is and where everything's going to work and how it all works together. So up here to start with, you've got your library. You can see there it says libraries. So you can just click once on that and then wait a sec and then click again and you'll be able to select it and rename it. Yours probably says untitled to start with. I normally just type in my own name, and that library is where all of your different film projects are stored. So all of these smart collections you generally can't get rid of, but all of these purple ones are different film projects. Okay, um, and those projects are called events. So what we're going to do, just for the purpose of today's tutes, is we're going to go File, New, and Event, and I'm just going to call this tutorials because that's going to be the name of my film project I'm working on. And the library I want it to go in is Ashley Hall, which is over here. And then I've got Create New Project ticked, which you want to do, and go OK. So this is what you get. So there's the tutorials. Oops, there's the tutorials event we just created over there, and that's a new film project. I'll just close the inspector over here. There we go, so we can see a bit more. And this is so this is the event that we've created over here, and this is the new project file that we created as part of that. Now, project is our timeline. You can't start editing and doing anything unless you've got a project to work on. And you can use multiple projects within the one product by just going File, New Project. So you can just create multiple timelines basically, which I tend to do if I'm working on a bigger film. I'll create a timeline, a separate one for each major scene, and work on them separately. And then I'll put everything together at the end, which can make life a little bit easier. You can rename this as well, so obviously when you do, you just click up there on the title of it. I'm just going to call this Charlie, because we'll be using some footage of my dog Charlie. And then you can have multiple timelines that you create. Now this little window here is where everything goes. So this is where your footage will go, this is where your music will go, this is where photos or Photoshop files, anything you want to bring in, they all go in here when they're imported. Okay. So let's do that right now. So I'm just going to go to my desktop. There it is. And I've got a folder there called footage. So one of the ways, the easiest way, is you can actually just select it and drag it in. Okay. Or you can also just go back to this window and right click and choose import media right there. If you don't have right click, if you're not too familiar with a Mac, I'm using a trackpad on a laptop, but you can actually go to your Apple menu and choose System Preferences. And then wait a sec. There we go. And here we've got mouse right there. Now I don't have one plugged in. Just do that. So if I plug in a mouse there, my settings will turn up in a second. There we go. So you'll probably see something like this. So you can see here, yours probably says if you don't have right click, this will say primary button as well. So it basically sees your whole mouse as one big left click. So if you change that to secondary button, that gives you right click. If you change this to button 3, that means the little dot there is a scroll wheel. So you've now got left click, right click, and a scroll wheel, all part of the one mouse. So that's the way you can do it. If you don't set up, you can also hold down Control and then click. So without using I'm just going to use left click now. If I hold down Control and then click, that's the equivalent of right click as well. So you've got a few options there. So I'm just going to go and click on Import Media, which is the other way, and then go to my desktop, footage, and there's the stuff I want to bring in. Okay, I'm just going to move this window up a little smidge. You can preview it there. There it is there. So you just click once on it, and that'll show you what it is before you decide if you want to bring it in or not. But I've already checked this out beforehand, so I want all of this stuff. So I'm just going to go up here. You can, if you want to bring in like individual clips, if you don't want to bring them all, you can hold down Command on your keyboard next to the space bar and just click on certain clips you want to bring in and then just click on Import Selected. Or you can go Command A, which selects all of them, and you can see it changes to Import All. Or you can click on the top one and then hold down Shift and then just go Import Selected and things like that. Okay, so there are the different ways you can do it. I'm just going to go Command A, which is Select All, and then go Import All, and there we are. So all those files have now been brought in that I want to use. You can see that's an audio file there that I'm going to use a song later on. These are some other little audio files. And up here we've got the footage. So the other thing this has, which is handy in Final Cut when you're looking at your clips, is I haven't clicked on it or selected it. All I'm doing is moving my mouse across the footage. And it's telling me, it's showing me what's in that clip. Okay, so if you're using Final Cut for the first time, you'll probably find that it's making noise as well, which sounds like, sort of skipping through an old tape, which can be a bit annoying. So I tend to turn that off. To do that, you just go up to your View menu. It's called skimming, what we're doing right now. So I leave skimming and clip skimming on, but I turn off audio skimming, which is that one. So if you've got a tick there and you've got that noise, you click on that, and you'll still be able to skim like that, but you won't be able to hear it anymore, which is good. Okay, so they're all of your clips. We've got all our things in here. We're all ready to go, and we're basically in a position now to start editing, which we'll get to in the next lesson.